Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, all hell is breaking loose in Chicago. Not exactly a surprising statement, but it's getting worse and worse every single year. The question is, what is the culprit, or who is the culprit? Oh, it must be those evil MAGA Republicans. In Chicago, really, evil MAGA Republicans don't even exist. So clearly, there's only one group to blame, and that's obviously Democrat policies. You get what you vote for. This is what happens when you're a compassionate Democrat stronghold. We care so much about people, we're gonna put our money where our mouth is. It's so easy for Democrats to say that when it's somebody else's money. Who's gonna pay for it? Oh, well, the billionaires. The billionaires need to pay their fair share in taxes. Well, obviously, that's not gonna happen. And when it comes to local programs and local Democrat problems, guess who's gonna be on the hook for it? You know, a small suburban neighborhood in Chicago doesn't have billionaires to pay for these kinds of things. It's you, sucker. Average, normal suburban Democrat voter. You voted for it and now you gotta pay for it. All hell is breaking loose as the migrant crisis ramps up and enters Chicago. Absolutely justified under Mayor Lori Lightfoot's leadership, they labeled themselves a sanctuary city. Well, now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so we know what's happening in certain districts in Chicago and even New York. Migrants are being shipped out of the city and into surrounding suburbs. In this case, they're being sent to the northwest side, and this was the reaction from the public.
What ward are you from?
I'm from the fourth ward.
Fourth ward. Well, your ward should be assessed money to pay for this. If you're alderman
Because
vote,
I live in the fourth ward and believe that human beings are never illegal. Yes.
why should I pay? I don't want to pay.
Because this is about humanity.
No, it's not about
Yes, it
humanity.
is.
You ever hear the term?
You're doing a NIMBY, not in my backyard.
No. I'm doing is, it's all about money. Money, honey.
When Mayor Lightfoot was in, she agreed to have Chicago to be a sanctuary city. And where is she now? She's gone.
Another heated community meeting tonight over the placement of migrants.
This time, the city has its sights set on a Northwest Side college as temporary housing.
And a lot of neighbors do not like the idea. Tia Ewing is live with more. Tia.
Well, you said it there, John. A lot of neighbors do not like the idea. There was a lot of mixed emotion here, a lot of opinion from Portage Park residents and also residents from the Dunning community, all voicing their opinions about this move tonight. At times there was booing, at other times there was clapping. The meeting unfolded in the space where the asylum seekers would temporarily call home.
The room was filled to capacity at one point, Chicago residents making their voices heard.
You can be compassionate, but you can't be foolish.
As more than 8,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since August of 2022, and that number is still going up as Chicago tries to deal with the crisis. On the table is the plan to house them here at Wilbur Wright College, many asking the question about the city's plans moving forward. What are you gonna do? Some on the Northwest Side support it.
We've all struggled along the way and needed help. Every one of us. It's time to pay it forward. These are people. They're not political pawns.
I literally do not feel bad in the slightest. You guys did this to yourselves. This is what happens when you vote for Democrats at 90%. This is what happens when your mayoral election in the city of Chicago doesn't even have a Republican on the ticket. There's no option. It's literally 5 Democrats vying for power. Pick your frickin' poison, they're all the same. This is what happens when you have no political standards and it's just vote blue no matter who, no matter what. You get out of control, out of your mind, leftist policies. There's suffering people in this community like any other community. People pay taxes in these communities, and they expect those taxes to help people, or to get some sort of service and some sort of help for themselves after paying into the taxes. But nope, of course that's not happening. Instead, the town is spending $51 million funding migrants. No, not just normal migrants, illegal migrants. Like we always say, people whose first act in the country is disrespecting border laws, skipping ahead of the line, illegally entering the country. What a freaking farce. And of course, the typical leftist perspective. Let's replay some key moments from the clip I just played earlier. These two leftoids.
Your ward should be assessed money to pay for this. If you're alderman
Because
vote,
I live in the fourth ward and believe that human beings are never illegal? Yes.
Why should I pay? I don't want to pay.
Because this is about humanity.
We've all struggled along the way and needed help. Every one of us. It's time to pay it forward. These are people. They're not political pawns.
No human is illegal, acting like frickin' SpongeBob in that scene where he creates a rainbow with his hands. No human is illegal. We must take care of these people. Compassion. What are you, a bigot? Again, totally targeted, totally brainwashed NPC thinking, targeted compassion. These people buy in so deep into the MSNBC narrative, they can't see the whole picture. It's compassion for one group of people and a total lack of compassion for everybody else. The people footing the bill, paying the taxes. Actual American citizens who probably deserve to be #1 priority of the town, the city, and the state. Not to mention people who are trying to legitimately immigrate to the country, who keep getting bumped further and further down the line. And the more this illegal migrant crisis expands, the harder the legal immigration path continues to get. You know, there's a reason why America is the hardest country to immigrate to legally. It's because of all of the demand and all the illegal migrants rushing into the country constantly. Where's the compassion for hardworking people going through the legal process? There is no compassion for those people. It's the same nonsense we see from all these virtue signaling leftoids every single time. It's just a current thing virtue signal so they can pat themselves on the back and feel like a real special little snowflake. It's not actual sound policy. It's a replacement for an empty void personality, an individual. People clearly with no actual substance and no ability to critically think simply adopt the mantra of the left, insert the frickin' chip in the back of their brains, and thoughtlessly recite the rhetoric of the day without actually thinking about the implications or the consequences. You know, it's why we have moments like this, for instance. I want all of these social programs. Everyone should have everything. But the moment you ask one question...
Charity is an extension of a capitalist system. A charitable billionaire, it's like there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. Charity should be built within the system. You shouldn't need to give to help people. They should just be helped. There should be universal basic income, housing, healthcare.
But I guess who would pay for that?
What do you mean?
To have all the systems happen.
That's a big question.
A total breakdown. Who's gonna pay for it? Nobody. And even the typical answer that you get from leftoids on this one, the ones that are a little bit over-eager and confident, the billionaires. We're gonna tax the billionaires. They're gonna pay for it. Really? You know, billionaires who barely take any actual salary. Most of what they own is financed by the bank and they're paying overtime. These billionaires who have this perceived billions of dollars in the bank, but really it's all stock in a corporation that's investing the money and building jobs and building wealth. Money that's part of capital being raised for investment in companies, small businesses up to big businesses, from startups to freaking Google. The reality is that these supposed billionaires that leftists tell you are greedy, terrible human beings are the ones making the economy work. They're the ones who are generating the wealth that allows you to pay for any social program you might be dreaming of. But again, just blindly following the leftist talking point. Billionaires bad, let's take all their money and give it to the government, because the government clearly is going to do the right thing for you and not pursue some sort of New World Order globalist agenda that leaves you in the dust. Give me a frickin' break. Wake up, leftoids, you're being frickin' scammed. You're all literally just falling for nonsense communist propaganda while those pulling the strings behind the curtain do everything in their power to undermine your standard of living. The enabling of illegal migration isn't about no human life being illegal and compassion for those struggling. It's about importing loyal voters, so the idea of voting in democracy is simply just an illusion and one-party rules. It's about importing cheap labor to artificially increase demand for jobs so salaries can be lowered, downward pressure on wages, wage suppression. It's about control and it's about dollars. And you naive leftoids are the useful idiots, the pawns that are being used in this globalist game of chess. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.